walking on a pink cloud. So I asked her last night at her graduation prom, and she said yes. We're going to be married in August.
Wow, married? But she's just finishing high school, and you still have 2 years at the university. That's a tough road, Larry. What are you going to use for money?
Well, Sue's folks were going to pay something to put her in junior college here in town for 2 years. So we'll have that. But instead of going to college, she'll get a full-time job in campus town. Say she doesn't care anymore about education. So with that and my part-time job, we'll get by.
Uh-oh. Here's Sue now. You two probably want to be alone.
Sue, honey.
Oh, Larry.
Well, what's the matter?
It's the folks' sake. We had a terrible scene. I couldn't sleep a wink. They don't approve. They say I'm too young. They want me to finish 2 more years of schooling before I even get engaged. Oh, Larry.
Oh, buck up, sweetheart. They can't stop me. Relax. And act normal till after your graduation next week. Then I can borrow Phil's car. Down to Greenville. There's a justice of the peace down there. We'll elope, honey.
But, Larry, I wanted a church wedding. And all the parties and showers for me, too. And my folks, that would break Mom's heart.
Well, we're the ones that are getting married, not your folks.
I don't know, Larry. I read somewhere that a marriage without parents' approval has 2 strikes on it from the start. But if eloping's the only way...
No, maybe it isn't. Maybe you could convince your folks that you should get married.
But how, Larry? How?
Say, I'll bet we could get some advice from the marriage counselor over at the church. His name is Hall. Bill told me about him. He teaches a course in marriage and family living at the college.
Do you think he could help me with my folks?
Well, it's worth a try, isn't it?
My folks don't understand the way I feel. So that's the story, Mr. Hall. Do you think you can help us get married?
Why, I'm in favor of marriage. In fact, I spend a good deal of my time helping people to get ready for marriage. Now, let's see. You've known each other for...
3 months, 1 week, 2 days, and 17 hours.
And you're 18, Sue? And 19, Larry? Have either of you ever been in love before?
Well, but not like this. This is the real thing.
Yes.
I had a chum in college who had the real thing with 8 successive girls. Oh, it's all right if you have it, fine. It's a very important factor in building a happy marriage. But tell me, how do you know it's real love, the kind you can get married on?
Why, ever since I first met Larry, I haven't wanted to date anyone else. The whole 3 months now. And besides, I haven't even had 1 quarrel with him.
No quarrels? Why not? No differences of opinion? Or no opinions? What do you talk about on your dates?
Oh, movies and popular songs.
Orchestras, dancing.
And...
Larry's chosen profession, engineering?
No, I don't understand any of it. I don't like to hear about it.
Why, Sue, honey, I didn't know you felt that way.
Well, it seems you two may have some things to talk over and settle. Might well ask yourself some questions before you get too serious about marriage.
Well, what do you mean?
What sort of questions?
Well, questions for Cupid. You might say he should ask them before he fires those arrows. We call this Cupid's checklist. First, do you have similar backgrounds, similar bases for your ideals and standards? Second, are you real friends, comrades, pals, through thick and thin? And third, do you both understand marriage? Oh, not the kind in most movies or in most popular songs, but the real everyday kind of marriage, between real people. Do you understand it?
Well, golly, Mr. Hall, I don't know the answers to all those questions. I just know that I'm in love with Sue. Is that bad?
No, that's good.
Sure. And it's good when you recognize that you don't know the answers. It's a good sign.
I don't know. I think we're friends. And maybe we can understand marriage, but backgrounds, how do they affect getting married?
Well, come over here a minute. Perhaps I can show you what I mean.
What's that?
I call it a marriage development board. It represents the psychological distance between a husband and a wife from the time they are born until they die.
Yeah, but what does it all mean?
Well, let's set it up for you and Sue. When you are born, you inherit a great many differences from your parents. That's part of your background.
That makes sense, all right.
Now, as you grow up, you each develop separate and unique personalities. Your mental growth, your emotional outlook, your standards and ideals. Larry, your distinctly masculine outlook on life, and Sue, your feminine way of looking at things, your capacities to love and be loved. In these and many other ways, you each acquire a background, so that when you first met, you were probably farther apart, probably more distinct individuals than when you were born.
But I don't want to marry a girl like me. I want to marry a man like him.
So even though we're close together here, we don't know how far apart we are there.
That's right. When you two met, there was probably an early physical reaction, a romantic attraction that pulled you together, a love appeal that hit you sort of boing.
How did you know?
Well, it happened to me. It happens in some degree to most couples who become happily married. But it takes more than this boing. For you see, if you're too far apart psychologically, if your backgrounds are not similar enough, it can cause a great deal of argument and unhappiness until...
It's gone.
Where'd it go?
That's what you'll be saying about your romantic love if these other things cause a breakup.
No, sir. This is forever with Larry and me.
Fine, I hope so. But don't you think it's wise to take time to find out how much strain these differences might put on your romantic love?
But there isn't any time. Larry's going away in a couple of months.
Yes. Did you two ever see these figures on length of engagement and how it relates to chances for happiness in marriage?
No.
Two separate studies showed the chance for happiness improves with a longer engagement period. It's fair for